Yo, hello, good afternoon. 5:12 p.m. Pacific, Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to day 22 of Virtue's Last Reward. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for listening. Alrighty. Hello, scrub. Why would you address me as a scrub? You don't want no scrubs. You don't want no scrubs. I'm a scrub. Why you calling me a scrub? What did I do? What did I do? Why you so mean to me? What up, Kiyu? Yes, yeah, scrubber, scrub collar. Look at that comeback. I'm mean to everyone, but I'm not everybody. I'm me. It's okay. It's all good. I am accepting of all types. You know, and I know you mean scrub in a good way. You're like, scrub like I'm scrubbing, I scrub the bad stuff cuz I don't know where the hell I'm going with this. Dumbass is just a term of endearment. Exactly. I mean, kind of. Maybe. I'm about to tweet this out. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is the guy that can't get no love from me. I don't dare call someone I don't know a dumbass. I mean, obviously, because, it could be a term of endearment, but I feel like if you don't know somebody or people don't know you, they might not have the same mindset as you, right? Because we're all different as people. You should add more channel points options. Yeah, I haven't touched it at all. It's just the default. I have all these points and I don't know how to use them. I don't know. I never thought about it. I don't know what I would really add, but like I said, I haven't really thought about it. I do know it's a thing. All right. Tweet has been sent out. I don't know. I don't know what would be good for like channel options. I know some people put like really stupid stuff like a bajillion points and they will quit streaming or something. Stuff that's not really obtainable. but it's a relatively new thing. So, I mean, I don't know if people have gotten really creative with it. Probably some people have. I don't know like what you can actually really do with it besides put kind of hypothetical stuff, not actual mechanically functional type stuff, I guess you can say. All right. But we are ready. Day 22. But yeah, I'll when I have a chance, I'll look into it. I should look into it. I haven't even changed I'm sure the icon is like the generic bubble. We are currently at 52 hours, 55 minutes, and 11 seconds in our playthrough. As far as I know, we have the opportunity to leave, so they're contemplating what they should do. I know that we went and got Quark. He was in the pod. He's unconscious and doesn't have his bracelet, but at this point they're talking about Luna and whether or not we should leave her or bring her or find her and bring her with us or something like that. The only option is to leave her here and get out. Whoa, the music just stopped.
Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm.
A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic.
Device worked.
Yo, thank you for the host, Kiyu. What part are we on? We are on the far left, like 2 squares from the bottom. They're like right in front of the number 9 door. They're about to open it. Phi and Sigma, and then we went back and got Quark. So now we're just like, we know that Luna is a robot. Okay. You're right. Let's get out of here.
Damn. Don't scare me like that. Okay, I'm going to open it. You ready?
You don't have to ask me. Isn't that what you always say?
Yeah, I guess so. It's time we got out of here. Let's go.
With a heavy labored groan, the number 9 door began to open. As soon as the gap was wide enough to admit her body, Phi slipped through it. I followed her through, Quark still cradled in my arms. Inside was a massive lift platform like the kind used to move industrial cargo. Phi turned to face me, and I shoved Quark into her arms.
Huh?
I gotta go back for Luna! Before she could respond, I spun around and ran. Dude, did you really actually go back inside?
The number 9 door will remain.
Sigma! What the hell are you thinking? Get back here!
Sorry, Phi. There's something I have to do. Take care of Quark.
No! You don't mean you're going to go find Luna? God damn it, Sigma! Think about what you're doing! Sigma! Listen to me! You can't do this!
I can because I can go through my flowchart and escape at some point anyways, maybe, hopefully, probably not. He's probably hoping that Luna can use her robotic powers to like force the door open. Maybe. Probably.
The
Probably
number
not.
9 door has closed. This end. Thank you. As the game is over. Escape is please in.
Dude, we're all alone, man, with the scary Luna robot. I mean, she ain't scary, but it just appeared kind of creepy yesterday. I had no regrets. In fact, with Fi and Quark's successful escape, I felt a profound sense of relief. One of my objectives had been achieved and a difficult choice had been made. One of my objectives had been achieved. What? My mind felt clear and focused, more so than it had in a long time. Alright, time to go. Luna's waiting. What? Dude, we gotta be a robot. Cause that the cutaway with the green screen, I feel like we're like slowly transitioning to a robotic form or something. Luna, don't eat me, please. I knew you'd be here.
You knew?
Oh, right. We haven't talked here in this one, huh?
Isn't this nice? This is the only place in this whole facility with anything green. I kind of feel silly saying it, but it makes me think of the great outdoors. I think it's the perfect place for a serious conversation. Being surrounded by nature makes me feel happy. I'm not sure what you meant just now, but are you talking about something that happened in another history?
What?
I know what you can do. Someone told me about it once. They said that you have the ability to transport your consciousness through time.
Who told you that? The Twitter bird. Luna looked down at the music box around her neck. Carefully and delicately, she twisted the dial on the bottom. Wouldn't it be funny if
Sigma.
it's us, but like a different version of us? Yo, that's Quan!
I'm still at work, just stopping by to say hi seems good.
Yo, what up? Thank you for the 20-month resub, man. I hope work is good. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're well.
Aren't you here to ask me something?
What?
Why I killed them, perhaps?
Well, actually, I already know you didn't do it.
Oh? Why do you think I didn't do it? I'd like to know your reasoning.
Alright. I nodded and took a moment to compose my thoughts. Might as well start with the old woman. There's no point beating around the bush, I suppose. Dio killed her.
Why do you think so?
Her left arm had blood splattered all the way up to the elbow, except for a stripe on the wrist that was perfectly clean. What could have caused that? My guess is a bracelet. It got covered with blood and kept her wrist clean. Obviously none of our bracelets had blood splatter on them, but Dio's bracelet reacted to the luminol. That meant Dio's bracelet had to have come from the old woman.
Is that your proof? That's why you think Dio killed her?
No, that's only enough to suspect him. After all, he could have just taken the bracelet after someone else killed her. I thought this was the same mystery game as the last time I was here, but there are 3D animations. Yeah, man. It's the next game in the series, but like the UI and everything probably looks very similar to the last one, but yeah, the animations, Like instead of just being a drawing, there's actual like movement and stuff.
Then why are you so sure?
But we're like, yeah, we're pretty deep into the game already. Because he confessed.
What?
After his bracelet reacted to the luminol, I confronted him.
Alright, fine. You caught me. I did it.
You know, in some weird world, I thought you had played these games, but yeah, thinking back, I don't think so. I know you did watch some of the first game. Alright, fine, you call me, I did it.
I killed the old bitch and took her bracelet.
Wait, when did that happen?
In a different timeline.
Isn't that against the rules?
What rules? I hope you're not going to try and bring up Nox's 10 Commandments. That's cool as fuck. It kind of grew on me. Initially, I was like, it's a lot. It just felt different because it's like kind of cartoony. It's 3D, but it still looked more. I don't know, more. I know, like before when it was a drawing, you know, they still were drawings and they look like cartoons still, but I feel like 3D animation with this type of art still makes it look more kind of cartoonish, but it kind of grew on me. I think the animations and stuff does add some immersion to the game. Does it really matter if it's against the rules or fair? The truth is the truth. I never played these. Yeah, it's a pretty... I think it has a really hardcore following, but overall it's still kind of considered a niche game. Especially if you consider it to like the mainstream games like COD and I don't know, Gears of War, games like that. You know, Grand Theft Auto. They say that Incident P happens and after that the timeline splits into Timeline A and Timeline B. I don't think it's unfair to base a theory in Timeline A on information I found in Timeline B. After all, A and B both came from the same place, P. If you trace the history of both timelines, you end up back at Incident P. Now, if I could change what happened with Incident P by visiting Timeline A or B, then yes, it'd be a different story. I don't know that it'd be unfair per se, but I'd certainly be breaking some pretty big rules. See, this is... like, this makes sense what he's saying. Like, what you do in the future shouldn't affect the past. It's usually what you do in the past affects the future, which is like what this graph is. You start from P and then whatever you do, depending on what changes, it splits up either to Timeline A or Timeline B. But based on some instances in this game, it does try to imply that it's possible that something you do in the future can impact something that happens in the past. So now that they're kind of talking about it, and I never really thought about it that deeply, I mean, a lot of our evidence is based on different timelines or different playthroughs. But if you really think about it, based on how the logic in this game works at times or sometimes, for example, somebody's vote like flip-flopping based on what decision you make, even though it's like the same timeline, it's possible that maybe using that evidence from a different playthrough might not actually be legit. I don't know, just something to think about. Like, you know, the principle of causality. I'm sure that Dio killed the old woman. By extension, that means you couldn't have killed her. I'm assuming Dio wasn't originally intended to be part of the Nonary gang. Somehow he got in and took the old woman's place. That's how he ended up as Quark's partner. This is just an educated guess, but I have a feeling his plan was to replace one of us. I doubt it mattered which one. I have no idea why he would want to do something like that, and I don't know how he did it either. But the fact remains that he did. He hid in the warehouse on floor A and waited for someone to come out of one of the AB rooms. That someone turned out to be the old woman. Dude, that sucks so much. I'd rather it have been the old lady and not Dio. She left Quark asleep in the AB room and came out on her own. Somehow he managed to get close enough to stab her. No! He did it near the wall with the graffiti on it. Oh. I'm guessing he stabbed her from behind so that he wouldn't get any blood on himself. As soon as she was dead, he wrapped the knife up in the handkerchief. Wait. Have we seen the knife? I don't think we've seen a knife. He probably took the bracelet first, then he would have needed to wipe the blood off, so he used the handkerchief for that too. Anyway, the point is that he got the bracelet and put it on, and then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the rightmost AB room and its neighbor. Rightmost AB room and its neighbor? So... here? He probably didn't expect that they'd move, or he would have put it somewhere else. After that, he headed back into the AB room that the woman had left. Quark would have still been fast asleep, so as far as he knew, Dio was there the whole time. Hey, so Quark was somehow asleep the entire time? This does raise a few other questions, but I'll save those for later. For now, let's move on to the other murders. Well, actually, one of them probably isn't a murder. I'm talking about Alice. I'm pretty sure she committed suicide. Hold on. I'm like thinking about how Clover had the number 16 on her thigh and then was trying to figure out, like, is it possible that if Dio had done it, that he had known Luna was a robot and like tried to frame her.
All of humanity is going to die. Adults, children, everyone. There won't be anyone left. I'd rather die here.
She'd been infected with Radical 6. I think that infection caused her to take her own life. She used Dio's knife, which she'd found in the warehouse after the AB removed and exposed it. She took it with her and then used it to stab herself in the crew quarters. Next are Clover and Ten Myoji. Okay, here we go. So, Alice, yeah, I mean, that was a given. She was infected. The first question is, who put the handcuffs on them? The clue is the message Clover left, 016. If you think about it though, it doesn't make sense. Clover's left hand was in the handcuffs. Okay. That means she would have had to write with her right hand on her right thigh. I feel like it would be really hard to do that. You know? Why not just use your left thigh? The thing is, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. I mean, the right hand is closest, her right hand is closest to her right thigh, so why would she not write on her right thigh? I feel like the logic, I mean, it's an educated guess, I guess you can say. You're getting info dumped, I know. It's enlightening. The thing is, I think she did. When she died, her legs slumped together and the message got oh, okay. Dude, that's what this game does. I like question something and then immediately they contradict what I just said or agree with me in this case. We just never saw the original because we didn't bother to check the other leg. In other words, she wasn't trying to write 016. She was trying to write Dio. What a dude, that's like the crappiest coincidence. It's like, oh, hey Luna, your robot number is going to be 016 and coincidentally, it kind of looks like the name Dio. And then Clover is like, hey, let's write the name Dio, but make the 6 look like a D, and then let's make the I look like a 1. I mean, there is a little bit of a dot there, but at the same time, I mean, she was dying, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. You sure do ask questions right before they they explain a lot. I know, it's been a habit since the first game. I'll blame this one on a weird translation hiccup. Translation hiccup? With her dying breath, she was trying to tell us the name of her killer. Now about Kay and Dio. I think there is a pretty good chance Dio killed Kay. Here's how I imagine it happened. Kay probably sprayed Dio's bracelet with the luminol. We found the bottle in Kay's robe. We did? He wouldn't have seen the reaction immediately, but Dio would have known what was coming. As soon as Kay turned the lights off, it would be clear that Dio had taken the old woman's bracelet. My guess is he decided to take preemptive action. When we found their bodies, the lights in the rec room were on. Maybe Kay turned to switch the light off and Dio took that opportunity to attack him. Imagine trying to translate this game that's half based on wordplay. Yeah, true. Especially if some of the translations have to carry into the actual game animations and stuff. I mean, I'm sure they like modified those to fit English, but still. Translations aren't easy. Definitely not, because nothing's ever word for word, and a lot of times some phrases in other language, there's no way to really translate them because there's no actual phrase that you can translate to in like whatever language you're trying to translate it to. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but I mean, nothing's ever like word for word, and a lot of times, especially with jokes and things like that, like one-to-one translations don't work because there's like cultural differences too and all of that. He was hurt pretty badly, but he didn't die right away. He probably managed to grab the spear and stab Dio. I guess that makes sense. This reminds me of, I never really watched a lot of it, but when I did ever catch Detective Conan, I don't know if you guys heard of that. I'm sure you have. It's pretty well-known anime. Whenever I watch like Detective Conan, he always put all the pieces together and he's able to like solve cases. But even though it's like what he says is right, I mean, you have to look at it other ways too. I mean, you could approach it from a different direction to kind of contradict whatever it is that he explained. So in other words, not everything, like, there's other ways to get the same end result, I guess you can say. Yeah, you saw how they just like hard passed even trying with making Santa's hard pass trying to make with Santa's name. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a name, so I didn't really think anything of it. But yeah, I mean, what you're saying does make sense. I didn't really see his name and like was able to really pinpoint it to anything besides from what my memory recalls, him talking about the whole like white Santa, black Santa thing. But I mean, like, it his name doesn't carry, I feel, that much weight. I mean, his name had to be a play on Santa Claus and the number 3. Yeah, I don't even remember. Like, that's how little his explanation that I remember. So that accounts for all 6 bodies, none of them your fault. So he's just making a conclusion based on
Sigma.
evidence, but then Luna can be like, hey, you know what? I actually did kill them, and this is what actually happened. And you know what? It ended up the same way, but what you're saying could have actually happened, but it didn't happen. They had to just say Japanese because there's no other way to relate them. San is the Japanese word for 3. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a whatever reason. It's like, hey, I'm 3. And 3 in Japanese is San. So my name is Santa. But what does Japanese have anything to do with this game, right? I mean, sure, maybe the game was developed by Japanese developers, but that doesn't really have any relevance to the actual like game lore, right? So I don't know, but I mean, a lot of the characters do have Japanese names, so sure. So you don't really think much of it, but if you had to think a way to kind of like contradict why his name is Santa, like it's I don't know, it's weird. It's like, why Santa? It could have been like Sanrio. I don't know.
I'm glad you don't think I did it, but all of your theories are just, well, theories.
Exactly. See, it's all theories. Basically what we've been doing. And the game made more sense in Japanese, but they couldn't change it, or the Santa Claus conversations wouldn't make sense. Yeah, true.
Like Alice committing suicide. How can you be sure? Say she was infected with Radical 6. She could have been murdered before her symptoms even began to present themselves. As for Clover and Tenmyoji, I could easily have killed them. You don't have any proof that Clover's message was mirrored like you say, or even that it was supposed to refer to Dio. Even if it did, that's not conclusive evidence of his guilt.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying too. Like, it's not entirely conclusive, so there's no way to really say 100% that's exactly what happened.
The same goes for Kay and Dio. I could have killed them both.
Translating this game is its own beast entirely, and you remember the conversation number 4 being half-assed? Or super fun comment, but the number 4 being half-assed. Number 4 was Clover, right? I always forget who everyone is. Ace is one. Two is was the blind dude, Clover's brother. Santa gave you the Clover bookmark because he hated the number 4. Yeah, yeah. I remember Clover is 4. I can't. I do kind of remember from my limited memory of the game. All I remember is that she said her name is Clover because in like the original Nonary game, not the game that we played, but the one that took place in Nevada or whatever, something about like a bookmark with the 4-leaf clover. So then they believed in the clover or some crap, so that's why her name is Clover. I don't know. It's like exactly what? I could have killed them both. Santa gave you the Clover bookmark because he hated the number 4. Yeah, that was yeah. I remember him saying that he didn't want it. I can't remember. I guess he did say that he hated it, but in Asian cultures, number 4 is actually unlucky. Like 13 in Western. Right. Okay. No, I see where you're going with this. And they can't really explain that. Like, hey, this is unlucky in Japanese culture. Like, I'm like, what?
Why do you trust me so much?
Because there's some things, I guess because there's a lot of times when games are made, a lot of the ideas and stuff are based on your view of the world, I guess you can say, right? Not that anything's wrong with that. It's more like a lot of your thought process and what you do in life or what anything is, a lot of it is related to your culture, and a lot of references are culturally related, so if you don't live in that same culture or environment, it's hard to pick up these little like nuances or references because, I mean, how would you know? I mean, I guess in a way, if they wanted to like get it out, they could have like explained that little cultural reference, but it seemed, in a way, I guess it could seem kind of out of place. But then again, like one of the complaints about 999 for me is a lot of stuff was repeated in a way to kind of make you feel like either to make it seem like either you forgot or to make you seem kind of, I don't know, not stupid, but they wanted to make things really obvious. So I don't think it would have been out of place too much if they actually explained the whole like number 4 concept. It's like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God. It's like, he stabbed him with a knife in the heart and he has stopped breathing. And, like in that game, whatever. And it's like, that didn't really happen, but it's just like, it's very storybookish the way some of the dialogue was. And I don't know. I think it's just their way of trying to keep things kind of intertwined and connected, but it also makes it appear like they're just constantly repeating obvious things over and over. So, I can go on and on. Letter Q and the number 9 make the same sound in Japanese. You're going too deep. They don't explain the cultural references unless it affects the plot later. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have no real need to explain it because it technically doesn't have anything to do with the actual plot. It's more to educate. It would be more to educate in case they thought that a person wouldn't understand that. but that's more of an optional, I guess, thing.
I'm a machine. I'm part of this place. How can you trust a machine?
That's why I trust you.
What?
I trust you because you're a robot. Your robotness is just one more reason you can't be the killer. Well, 3 more reasons.
Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
Also, no, there wasn't a note that said seek a door that carries a key because over the intercom Zero said find a door that has a... Yeah, I remember we had that conversation. I remember that conversation. So it's like, it's just stuff lost in translation, which I mean affects it affects a lot of things, especially with cultural differences. I remember. A robot may not injure a human being or through an action allow a human being to come to harm.
A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic.
Yeah, this is stuff I'm really familiar with because, I mean, I'm not Japanese, but I'm Korean and I still watch like a lot of Korean, whatever, like dramas or shows and things like that with subtitles. And I mean, I speak the language also. So like when I see things being translated, sometimes it's like literal translations and at times it's not literal, but they do it to like kind of create a connection for somebody if they weren't like a native speaker.
Sigma.
I'm assuming that whatever that Dio shit is going on was difficult too. I get it though. It's funny. I don't have to ask you, can you tell me, well, everything you know? Your mind is in the central server. You should know everything that's happened here. There was a long pause. Luna stood up and walked deeper into the garden. I followed her in silence. Come on, give it to me. Eventually we reached the bench. Luna quietly sat down and just like last time, I lowered myself down beside her.
You were right. I didn't kill them.
Thank God. She said, I killed them. I'd be like, alright, I'm about to stand up very slowly and there's nowhere to go.
How should I explain? Well, actually, you got most of it right.
It doesn't matter. Tell me everything.
Well, first, yes, Dio did sneak into the facility. He used the large cargo elevator and came into the warehouse on floor A through the number 9 door.
Okay.
Since the game hadn't started yet, anyone could go through it.
That's so dumb. It doesn't really sound like sneaking. It sounds more like he just walked in.
Yes, I guess you could say that. He did get in pretty easily, but that's because Zero Jr. lured him here.
What do you mean?
Dio wasn't a surprise. Both Zeros knew that he was going to come.
So they brought him here?
In a way.
But why?
Because his presence was an important part of Zero's project.
What
I
project?
can't go into that right now. We'd be here forever. Right now, let's just focus on the murders, okay? Anyway, Dio found his way in. They made sure he didn't know that he was actually being let in.
So why did he come here?
To make sure Zero's project failed. His first step was to pretend to be one of the players. As for how he did that, you had it pretty much right.
So this was... I kind of knew that... I mean, we know at this point that Dio did not... He wasn't an original player in the game. We knew that he had killed the old lady. We didn't know the exact details, so that's kind of explained here.
The old old woman was the first one out, and he killed her under the graffiti.
We did actually speak about the blood under the graffiti. I think I just kind of made an off comment about he probably killed her at the wall.
He put her bracelet on after he wiped the blood off it with the handkerchief. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the 5th and 6th AB rooms.
This I remember they talked about before, but we didn't know who had done that. 5th and 6th.
Counting from the left in their original placement.
In other words, the rightmost room would be the 6th room and the one next to it would be the 5th.
Right. After that, he went back into the 5th AB room where Quark was sleeping. Then he just waited for Quark to wake up.
What were you doing while that was happening?
Nothing. I couldn't do anything. My body had been turned off. Zero Jr. had powered me down. My body wasn't activated until after Dio went into the 5th room. I couldn't help her. All I could do was watch while she was murdered.
So she probably was able to see this through like cameras or something, but she didn't have an actual physical body to move around at this point.
Everything in this place is controlled by Zero Jr. I couldn't try and prevent Dio from getting in either.
Next time you need a knife picture, wait, if Zero Jr. controls everything, then he was the one who moved the 6th room with the crane?
Yes. That's right.
Hold on, let me see your link. Oh.
Zero Jr. moved the room, not me.
Mess with the labo, get the stabbo. Then who moved the old woman?
Me. It took me 10 minutes to get out of my AB room once I was turned back on. I ran over to check on her as soon as I did. Then I carried her back to the room I'd been in.
Oh yeah, I remember that in the beginning. That's why they suspected Luna initially, because they were doing their detective work and they figured out that she had come out of, or she was in Luna's room. Little did they know. Why did you do that?
Because I was ordered to.
What?
Luna, listen to me very carefully.
She has a voice!
As you already know, the final stage of the project begins in 2 hours. This will be the culmination of many years of hard work. We cannot afford failure.
Yes, I understand.
Then let's make sure. What is your mission?
Enter the Nonary game as one of the participants and observe the actions of the other players.
This music, man. This is OG music. Juno.
Ensure that they do what they are supposed to and guide them down the correct paths.
How many players will there be?
Myself and 7 others, ma'am.
Not 9 this time.
Will you be participating as well?
Yes. Our plan dictates that I must. An individual by the name of Dio will be entering this facility presently. He has been led to believe he is doing so undetected.
I mean, dude, if they knew that he was gonna come in and kind of sabotage the game, I mean, why would she not Shouldn't she have been like more careful?
You've been briefed on him already, correct?
Yes. He will murder the first person to leave one of the AB rooms and take their place.
Oh, I'm guessing this is gonna be one of those. Oh, never mind. She explained it. Why'd I even say anything?
If a pair is the first out, he'll probably kill both of them. That's all the information I've been given on him, ma'am.
She's gonna be like, I'm gonna be the first one out. Don't mourn for me, or don't stop him.
Is there a problem?
With all due respect, ma'am, I would like to state that I don't feel right about this. We know someone is going to be killed, and we're just going to let it happen? I also have doubts about the use of Radical 6. Are you sure? Infecting all these people with such a horrible disease.
That is none of your concern.
Wow, June, what a bitch.
Your only concern is to follow your orders.
But
Luna, I am giving you an order. I am in command, and you do as I say. You are programmed to do as I say.
No.
You know this.
yes,
Good. Now, I have one final order.
another order, ma'am?
Yes. When you leave the AB room, the person Dio has killed will still be there. I would like you to move them
Where?
to the room you are about to enter, the 6th AB room.
But why?
Not your concern. As a participant in the game, you must have as little knowledge of it as possible. That is why I have made sure you are unable to access any classified data. There are things you must not know. In order for this project to succeed, we need you to be as close to a clean slate as possible. There are some things you already know, which ideally you would not. Unfortunately, this is unavoidable, so you must refrain from divulging anything you know about the project to the other participants. You must never tell anyone what you know about Dio, or the body, or that you carried it to the 6th AB room. You will have to pretend you know nothing more than the rest of the participants.
Is that an order?
She probably does that on purpose to create, whatchamacallit, to create situations where they don't trust each other.
Yes. Do I make myself clear?
The question is why? We don't know the exact details yet.
Yes. After that, I went into the AB room as I'd been told to. As soon as I stepped inside, my body deactivated.
Beer.
But since my brain is in the main computer, I was still awake, so I still saw everything. While I waited, I used the security cameras to see what was going on in the rest of the facility.
And you saw the old woman being murdered.
Yes, it was hard. What I was seeing made no sense. Several of my higher level processes nearly failed. To think that she would be the first person to come out. I think she knew that Dio was going to kill her. When she'd said she had one final order for me, I didn't understand what she meant. Like a fool, I told her I didn't approve, when I had no idea what she was prepared to do. When she died, whatever I have that passes for a heart felt like it snapped in two.
I think I understand. Everything you did because you'd been ordered to.
Yes.
And it was the old woman who gave you those orders? Then is she Zero Senior?
No.
What? But if she gave you the orders,
She did, but she wasn't the only person I took orders from.
so she is the like adopted mom. No, not adopted mom. She is like the mom, informal mom to K. K is actually Sigma. So Sigma is K. We don't know who. We just look like the OG Sigma in the. Well, we don't even know if he's OG, but we're just assuming he's the original Sigma. And then Zero is actually Sigma's father, who I don't wait. Yeah, who's Tenmyoji? We know that he knows Akane. Akane is the old woman, apparently. We're assuming that Tenmyoji is... Actually, no, I was gonna say he's the, like, K's dad or Sigma's dad, but I don't think so. I think Zero is Sigma's dad, and then the old woman, Akane, and then Zero are the ones that designed all the robots. And they made a Sigma version. Well, actually, it's either we did it, or they did it, or the other Sigma posing as K was the one that did it. I don't know, there's like another version of us or something, and then we're like programmed to like think we're a college kid or something like that. So Tenmyoji, I don't know. I want to say that it's weird. Initially I thought maybe Zero is whatever the blind dude's name was. I don't remember. But then why would he... Maybe eventually he started falling for Akane, and that's why he had the picture. But then Akane was always for Junpei. So that was... I think I was like, well then maybe Tenmyoji is actually Junpei. So that's where I'm at. That's my mindset. There was someone else?
Yes.
And that person is Zero Senior?
Yes. They worked together to develop the project she mentioned.
Yep, that's what we're saying.
So I suppose, technically, my orders came from both of them. And they were both controlling Zero Jr., too. I told you before that Zero Jr. moved the 6th AB room. Although that's strictly true, he didn't do it of his own free will. They ordered him to do it.
This whole bunny thing is so... It felt really out of place to me. So if they can explain the reasoning behind Zero Jr. very well, I don't know.
He was following orders just like me.
But why?
I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they did it so that people wouldn't suspect me.
If they didn't want people to suspect you, then why have you moved the body in the first place? Eventually we'd figure out that the rooms had been moved and that she was in your room.
Then maybe they wanted the opposite.
You
Maybe
mean...
they wanted you to suspect me.
Yes. See, that's what we're saying. That doesn't make sense either. If they wanted people to suspect you, why move the room?
You're right. Then maybe they only wanted certain people to be suspicious of me.
You mean like Alice?
Yes. Perhaps they wanted Alice to find the handkerchief and the knife. That would explain why they moved the room.
So they somehow knew Dio would hide the knife there?
Yes, I think so.
But how could they know that? Telekinesis! They used the flowchart.
Well, whatever the reasons were, Alice did notice that the room was moved, which meant that Clover also figured it out. And just like you said, Alice used the knife to to take her life. Clover didn't realize that, though. Or perhaps she didn't want to. In any event, she decided that I must have killed Alice to keep her quiet. So she confronted me. It was right after the second round of the AB game. Using Phi's timetable, that would be 0 hours, 0 minutes.
Wait, you were listening to us in the security office?
Yes, that wasn't all I was listening to, though. I know everything that happened in the facility after my body collapsed.
You were watching through the security cameras?
Yes, I was. I could see and hear everything. Anyway, we're at 0 hours, 0 minutes. I was in the hallway on floor A when Clover found me and took me to room 2 in the crew quarters. We entered at about 0 hours, 1 minute. She was very forceful.
I know you killed
bitch.
Alice. Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. Now fess up! I'm only gonna give you one chance. If you lie or try to play dumb or something, I'll kill you right in front of her!
I told her the truth, of course. I explained that I hadn't killed Alice, that she'd been infected with Radical 6, and it had caused her to kill herself. Clover was never going to believe that, though. We argued about it for nearly 9 minutes. It wasn't just Alice she asked me about. She asked me about the murder of the old woman, and about the AB room being moved. She wasn't very nice about it.
Damn it, Clover.
But I couldn't answer any of her questions.
Because of your orders?
Yes. Then, at about 0 hours, 10 minutes, she must have run out of patience. She stuck her hand in her pocket and started moving toward me. She backed me up against the wall and pulled her hand out of her pocket. She was holding the injection gun.
Oh, this is new.
I tried to take it away from her. I even screamed for help. She refused to let go, of course. While we were fighting over it,
Whoa, hold on a minute. The trigger got pulled in the fight? I get that part. What I don't understand is why it did anything to
you
you.
mean because I'm a golem?
Yeah.
One of my orders was always to act like I was one of the players. A human. Any human injected with that amount of tubocurarine would die.
That's why you, died? To keep the facade that you were human?
No. I collapsed because Zero Jr. turned off the power to my body again. He probably felt he had to. Maintaining the illusion that I was human was probably in his orders, too. So to make it look like I had died, he turned the power off. Whatever the case, it was an accident. I don't think Clover ever intended to actually kill me. She only took the injection gun to try and threaten me.
One second. Yo, thank you for the retweets, Symbiotic and Janza. How can you be sure?
When I collapsed, she looked terrified. She checked for my pulse and listened to see if I was breathing. She also shook my body and called out to me several times. If she'd meant to kill me, why do all that? After a few moments, she ran off to the infirmary to get the AED.
You mean the defibrillator?
Yes,
That uses an electric shock to restart the heart, right?
correct.
So that was why she left?
Yes.
At 0 hours, 11 minutes, 40 seconds, Clover left the cabin in the crew quarters.
She ran off toward the infirmary. On the way, she bumped into Dio.
Oh no. Dio?
Yes, I guess she just saw him, really. They didn't talk. She just ran past.
And he just watched her go by?
Yes, I imagine he was curious, of course. He probably wondered what she was doing, but he chose not to go after her. He had something else to do.
At 0 hours, 12 minutes, Dio enters the room.
He seemed pretty surprised to find my body.
Yeah, I
It
bet.
didn't take him long to get over it, though.
Wouldn't imagine it would. What did he do then?
He'd gone there for 2 reasons. One was to get Alice's bracelet, which was a blue solo.
Right. Without a Dio and Kay, the yellow pair wouldn't be able to get through the secondary door. Right?
Yeah, but he couldn't find it.
Of course. Fi had already taken it by then.
Yes, but there was something else he wanted to do too. He was there to take the knife. Removing it was gruesome.
But why did he want the knife? Was it because he'd used it to kill the old woman?
No, I don't think so.
Then what do you think?
I think he didn't want anyone to see the engraving on the knife's blade. That's why he hid it so well after he killed the old woman.
Why wouldn't he want anyone to see
Do you
that?
remember what it said? There was a word engraved on the blade.
Myrmidons. Oh, yeah. Dude. I didn't think anything of the blade at the time because we didn't know anything about the Myrmidons. And then I must have like completely forgot about this.
Yes,
What does Myrmidons mean?
it's the name of the organization he belongs to.
Oh, what is it? Like a club or something?
I don't think so.
It's a club. Well, what is it then?
I don't really know.
No idea.
I'm afraid not.
Wait, wasn't he here to try and stop whatever Zero was doing?
Yes.
Then, wouldn't that mean he's on our side?
I don't know about that. He's killed 4 people. I'm not really sure he's on anyone's side.
You've got a point. Damn it, this is ridiculous. I guess this enemy of my enemy isn't my friend, huh?
May I continue?
Yeah, keep going. After he took the knife, Dio rifled through what few belongings Alice had. Luna said he didn't seem to be looking for anything in particular. He was probably just checking to see if she had anything useful. That was where he found the key to Kay's suit. Yeah, we actually, when we saw this, we suspected it was for Kay. But this thing only appeared like once. He didn't seem to have any particular reason for taking it, at least as far as Luna could tell. At 0 hours 13 minutes, Dio left the room.
He heard Kay opening the cyan door and ran out. When he left, he was heading toward the infirmary. My guess is that he was going after Clover. He found her with the AED. She was probably planning to just ignore him and head back, but Dio didn't let her.
Hey, wait. Just what are you planning to do with that thing? Thinking about trying to resuscitate Luna? And why would you want to do that? You were the one who killed her, weren't you?
When Clover tried to push past Dio, Luna said they began a fight.
Fuck do you think you're doing?
Dio pulled the knife out of his pocket and pointed it at Clover's throat. That was when he showed up.
Dio, what the hell are you doing? None of your goddamn business. Stay out of this, you senile old shit.
Like hell, you son of a bitch!
He let out a yell and leaped toward Dio. The younger man dodged him easily and lashed out with the knife. Tenmyoji caught Dio's hand with a grunt, and for a moment the two men struggled. Then as the knife edged closer, he wrapped his other hand around the blade and tried to force it away. But Dio was a much younger and stronger man, and the wound Tenmyoji gave himself with the knife didn't do him any favors. He put up a valiant fight, but with a roar, Dio threw him off, and Tenmyoji collapsed to the floor.
What are you going to do?
Why didn't she help him?
Let's see.
He like freaking jumped in to help, and then she just like said, "Oh, okay. Oh, Temioji, he's got it. He's good. He has lots of experience."
How about this?
Plus, like, I thought Clover, she's like trained as an agent.
How cute. You two really look great together, you know?
What are you going to do to us?
Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna handcuff you to a sink. Actually, I already have.
Are you gonna beat us to death or something?
No. Nothing so tasteless.
What are you going to do then?
How'd you like to make a bet?
A bet?
You've got, 20-some minutes until the primary white doors open. So I'd say you've got 25 minutes until they close. Give or take. If somebody happens to come by here before the doors close, you might live. But if nobody finds you, well...
We'll be penalized.
Exactly. So, I suggest you start screaming for help now. Unfortunately for you, just about all the rooms in this place are behind at least 2 nice thick doors. So unless they're pretty close, nobody's gonna hear you scream. Well, I'm off to the Floor B warehouse, okay?
There's like nobody left. There's only K. At this point, it's K, Sigma, and Phi. Quark's asleep. Temioji and Clover are here. Luna is, well, at least her body is down, and Alice is dead.
Enjoy your last 25 minutes. Later.
25 minutes passed and no one came. Of course, by then there were only 3 other people who could have come, apart from Dio.
You mean me, Phi, and K, right?
Yes, you were in the crew quarters at this point.
Yeah. K had told us about you. We'd also noticed that the knife in Alice's chest had been removed. If only we'd known what was happening in the infirmary.
Unfortunately for Clover and Tenmyoji, their time had come.
It's crazy because we found Alice. She was dead in the crew quarters like a handful of times throughout the game. And I can't say for certain, but I'm pretty sure there were instances where she was either dead with a scalpel and we found her, or she had a wound but there was nothing there. So I don't know. I feel like I remember that, but I never really thought anything of it.
Once the primary white door closed, both of their bracelets injected them with Soparil.
The anesthetic, right?
Yes. Almost immediately they started to feel sleepy.
Oh my god, dude, quit! Hello? Annyeong?
I think that's when Clover realized she was definitely going to die. That was when she decided to leave her message.
Pretty good, pretty good. It's playing some Zero Escape. Getting all of our questions answered after playing for a while. How about you? How's everything?
Just as you said, she wrote on her left thigh with her right hand.
And the word she wrote was Dio.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As for what happened in the rec room,
Yeah, I hope yeah, stay safe. I heard about that.
well, I guess I don't really need to tell you.
I heard there's like a lot of aftershocks and stuff too.
Your theory was essentially correct. What you said was what happened.
That's good. Yeah, I know a lot's been going on in that area for a while now. But that's good. It's good to hear. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, but I totally just forgot. I'll say when I remember. A little more to the middle of town, so no tsunami is gonna get me. That's good. I mean, regardless, it's like, you know, it's not a good situation, but I'm glad everything's okay for you. So Kay sprayed Dio's bracelet with the luminol, and then while his back was turned, Dio attacked him with the axe. No. Dio mortally wounded him, but didn't kill him, so Kay turned around and stabbed Dio with the spear. People be getting murdered up in here. I know. It's funny because in the beginning of the game, so I'm like 50 hours playtime into the game. In the beginning of the game, there was tons of murder, right? Like what you're seeing now. There's tons of murder. And then after that first portion, there wasn't as much murder going on, except for maybe one instance. But the game's kind of come full circle, and now we're back to like the murder part. And you're like seeing it now. And I guess that's when we found them.
Yes.
When did Kay get luminol?
After they went through the white door, Dio and Kay found themselves in the director's office. When they were done there, they headed back to floor A to look for everyone else. They went to the crew quarters first, then to the infirmary. Of course, they found Clover and Tenmyoji's bodies there.
Wait, who's they? When they Kay get the luminol after they went through the white door, Dio and Kay found themselves in the director's office. When they were done there, they headed back to floor 8 to look for everyone else. Oh, so Dio was there. Not gonna lie, that hair is not doing her any favors.
Dio expected to find them, of course, but he pretended to be shocked. Anyway, Kay checked them over for anything useful.
No one? All of the females in the game are very distinct. I mean, look at Clover. Like, she's dressed like she's from the Flintstones. She's like a stripper. She worked as a stripper in the Stone Age.
Right.
I'm sure they had, you know, I'm sure they're pretty lewd back then too. I mean, they had to, you know,
That's everything that happened.
they had to work with what they had. You made me spit my drink. I'm sorry. It's not good.
Do you have any questions?
Man, a stripper from the Stone Age? Like, what the hell, man? They like carve a stone so it'd be like a stripper pole, or like they get like a really thick branch or something. I don't know. Well, what do you think? This is a bear shit in the woods? It's like, huh? Well, the first thing is Quark's bracelet. Why was it in the infirmary?
Tenmyoji had it.
They just danced around the fire? That works.
Then when Dio attacked him, it fell out of his pocket.
Well, why did Tenmyoji have Quark's bracelet?
I told him where it was.
When?
Do you remember when you were in the rec room with Phi and Tenmyoji?
Yeah, no. Yeah, when he sprayed us with the luminol, right? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Sure, I remember.
Right after then. When he left the rec room, he went toward the green door to look for Quark. I ran into him at the end of the hallway, where the 3 doors and the switch are. That was when I told him. Look, Tenmyoji. The center door is unlocked. He took off through it without another word.
Alright. That was the treatment room, right?
Yes,
Where Quark was sleeping?
right. It only took him a moment. As soon as he saw Quark, he ran to his pod and started crying.
He ain't dead, dude. I'm not sure what's going on, but shit is getting crazy. This whole game is just question marks and speculation and theories and nothing. You can never pinpoint what the hell's going on. Like, you can theorize and kind of guess, but this game in general, a lot of logic kind of gets tossed out the window. In a way, the word that I always use to describe a game where sometimes you just can't explain things via logic is supernatural. So this is kind of has that supernatural element, kind of like Silent Hill, because I think that's the first time I used that word. Yeah, I call it his like beer hat, but I mean he's just a kid, so probably not. It's like a flashlight.
Yes.
Exactly, supernatural.
The display on the pod showed Quark's vital signs.
AKA, do whatever the fuck you want with your game. You don't have to explain shit.
It was obvious he was alive the moment you looked at it. Next to the pod was Quark's bracelet.
Like Bluetooth speakers? I mean, there's some logic there. You know, Bluetooth, whatever, transmission. I don't know how that shit works, but... Oh, his hat. Yeah, his hat could be Bluetooth speakers. Yeah, I actually never thought about that. It could be speakers. Actually, that would be pretty nice.
That was how Tenmyoji got it.
Why was Quark's bracelet off?
I took it off.
How?
Aluminum foil.
What? You mean the stuff from the crew quarters?
Oh, you found it? Did you know that aluminum foil has electromagnetic shielding properties?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. What?
Here's an exciting fact.
Oh.
Your heart creates
And
a
now
bunch
you're
of
seeing
faint
the-
electrical impulses.
You're seeing the money. You're like, what the fuck is this game? Did she cut his hand? No, she used aluminum foil, you know, for electrical impulses.
Anyway, the point is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood.
But there are instances where a hand does get cut off. What is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood?
It's in the bracelets put up on that. They're always watching.
Wait, so you're telling me that aluminum foil can block the electromagnetic waves your heart sends out?
Yes.
Electromagnetic.
All you have to do is wrap it around your bracelet.
And the bracelet thinks your heart has stopped?
Yes.
Dude, why didn't she tell us that in the beginning? Holy shit. It was that easy all along.
Anyway, I used some aluminum foil to get Quark's bracelet off. Then I put it next to the pod.
What an asshole. I mean, I don't want to say too much about her, but if you knew like her stance and why she's here, then it makes sense. But the only part that doesn't make sense is like, why did she do it now to take his bracelet off, you know? Wait, why was Quark in the pod to begin with?
Oh, that's easy. I put him there.
When did you do that?
Remember when we were first looking for Quark? I found him unconscious near the entrance to the Golem Bay.
So you carried him to the treatment pod?
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of bitches in this game, but Luna, I would say she's pretty low on the bitch ladder. She didn't lie to us, but it was her order. She was following orders. Were you the one who unlocked the treatment center too? All of this crucial information? She could have saved us freaking 50 hours in a month
No,
of streams.
I was not. I do not have the authority to operate any of this facility's machinery.
So it was Zero Jr.?
That's right.
Reactivated your body too, right? Man, I don't get any of this. Why the hell did he do that? I guess it wasn't really him that did it, huh? He was just doing what Zero Senior and the old lady told him to do. Everything leads back to me, back to them, huh? Of course it does. I feel for the main character. I don't even know who the main character is. I thought we knew who we were. I thought we were just a college student who was getting into his car on Christmas Eve. You know, he's gonna drive back home and go to sleep before his finals. But nope, I got shot in the dick, passed out, and we got brought to this, I don't know what the hell this place is, freaking bunker. So are you going to tell me?
Tell you what?
Isn't that obvious? Tell me what this project is. He did. There's so many flashbacks where it shows him getting shot in the dick. Like, it's... I know I keep talking about it, but it's just funny. Everything that happens in here has something to do with it. So why were we brought here?
To play the Nonary game.
And why were we supposed to play the Nonary game?
That was part of the project.
Why did Alice kill herself?
Because she was infected with Radical 6.
How did she get infected?
Zero Senior and the old woman did that.
Why?
It was a necessary evil. It had to happen for the project to succeed.
What would have happened if Alice hadn't committed suicide? I have a theory. So this is like their science lab, right? They're working here to create. They've quarantined themselves to create the antivirus for Radical 6, aka the G virus. Okay. So they develop an antivirus, but there's no way for them to test it, right? The antivirus being Excelivir. So they're like, okay, we need to bring some people in order to see if this antivirus works. Actually, why couldn't they have just brought like one person in that had the virus in them? I don't know. Yeah, like they could have just injected them then. I don't know. Squash that. I mean, I could make the theory work, but there's some holes there that you can poke into. What would have happened if Alice hadn't committed suicide?
Clover wouldn't have suspected me, and she wouldn't have accidentally killed me.
Yeah, I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe they wanted to test to see how long it takes for the Radical 6 to appear. Maybe they didn't have any data because they had quarantined themselves in the building and they couldn't risk going outside or something. I don't know.
I wouldn't have collapsed, and Dio wouldn't have found my body.
But then at the same time, in one of the endings, when you leave the bunker, you're like, I don't know if it's fake, but you're on some planet or something. So it's possible they were in an area that didn't have any infected people, because usually the infected people were dead. So somehow they were able to... Oh, you know, what I'm thinking is that if I had to make something up, I would say that they either made her get infected with Radical 6, or they found out that she had it, so they immediately put her in like those cryopods so she wouldn't go crazy or whatever. And then they brought people in to play the game, so they would eventually find the antivirus and try to inject it into Alice, who was infected, to see if the antivirus worked. But they didn't want to do it themselves, because if the antivirus didn't work, then they would potentially be infected by the virus. I don't know, maybe kind of works. But maybe the Myrmidons, which Dio is a part of, he like came in to sabotage. They found out about the project. They wanted to sabotage it because maybe they want all of humanity to die and they only want their own kind to exist or something. I don't know. It's a theory, kind of works. I mean, it's gonna be explained. I wouldn't have collapsed and Dio wouldn't have found my body.
That would have meant the confrontation in the infirmary never took place.
In other words, you're saying Clover and Tenbyoji died for this project.
Yes.
Well, actually, it was the Tubu Kurin that killed them, but they were only injected with it because of their bracelets, and they were only wearing those bracelets because of the Nonary game. See, and then the whole bracelet thing, and I don't know. That's like the base part of the story, and then you don't really consider. If you consider what that game actually is, then a lot of things kind of fall apart. Now, I know some of it might be related to the first game, where trying to escape or heightening tensions can potentially make their like telekinetic powers come out. But why, I don't know how or why that would be important in the scheme of the project. If you're going that way with they did it to potentially find a cure. If the Nonary game was part of the project, then that's one more way it killed them.
I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Now, what about Kay and Dio? Why would they kill each other?
Because Dio killed the old woman. He was worried about getting caught, so he tried to kill Kay before he could find out the truth.
And then if Dio hadn't killed the old lady, what happened in the rec room would never have taken place, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Why did Dio kill her?
So that he could pose as one of the participants.
And why did he do that?
To disrupt the project.
Then why did she let him kill her? See, he's asking. I like how he's just being straightforward with his questions.
The same reason they did all of this. It was a necessary evil. The project couldn't be allowed to fail.
Well, I mean, only dumb in the sense that the story is kind of out there, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's a game, right? It's a VN, so it's a virtual novel. So, I mean, it's not going to be basic. But I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, especially if you know, like, you hadn't watched a lot of the story or you miss gaps, it's kind of hard to really keep track of what's going on. Because even myself, I'm obviously playing it all the way through. I mean, even for myself, like, I forget things and it's hard for me to really connect all the dots and figure out like what the hell is going on. Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's almost as if, think of it like this. Let's say you go with like a really good book. Like, let's say, you know, everybody loves something like Harry Potter, okay? So Harry Potter is like a pretty thick book. Well, let's say you take Harry Potter and then you have someone read starting from the middle of the book, and then once they get to a certain point, you force them to jump somewhere else in the book and start reading from there. That's kind of like what this game is. It's like a very general example, but if you could think of it that way, it's like how could you really? It's hard to really be interested in what you're reading until, unless you actually, even though you jumped around, you can still go back. You can still go back and start from the beginning and read it to the end, even though it's like initially like jumbled everywhere. 6 people died here. A basic clusterfuck. Yeah, that's kind of it. Because, well, I'll show you since you're not too familiar with the game. So this is basically the entire game's flowchart. These are all of the parts of the story that you can experience, right? So depending on whatever decisions you make at certain points, it'll branch off to a different part of the story. But you don't have to continuously go through one part. You can I can actually travel to any point that I want in the story. But so you think of that as kind of an optional thing, but this game actually makes it part of the mechanics. So there is part of the lore in this game is that your character is able to jump through different timelines or different parts of the story, and to figure out certain like find answers or find passwords, or just trying to solve certain areas that you're like stuck at. For example, right now we are right down here. When we first started this game, I actually went down this tree and we got right here. No, we got like right here. Yeah, we got right here, and there's a computer which you're supposed to punch in an ID and password for, but we didn't have anything like that. So eventually we started playing the other playthroughs, like going through unlocking certain portions of the game, and then eventually you're told like some information and you don't really know where to apply it, but then you end up figuring it out. And one of those things that you're kind of explained, actually it's 2 instances in different parts of the story that give you the ID and password for the computer in this section. So it's kind of a mechanic in the game, but yeah, it does kind of jumble and kind of mix everything up. So it's a very unique but interesting mechanic. 4 of them were murdered one way or another by Dio. It's kind of like Cloud Atlas or Danganronpa 3. Interesting. At first that makes it look like Dio's the reason they all die, but that's not true, is it? Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, and it's a lot to process if you haven't played. So this is definitely one of those. It's like, this is like a game you probably it's probably not the best games to stream, only because you really, in order to really understand what is going on, you kind of have to you kind of have to be like present, I guess you can say. All of them, all 6 of them, they all died for this project. That means that the murderer, or I guess I should say murderers, with the old lady and Zero Senior, right? Yeah, so I mean, I kind of explained the mechanics a little bit and how the game works, but I didn't explain what the game is about exactly. But it's essentially a bunch of people get kidnapped and you're tossed into this place, and their mission, I guess, their goal is to escape. And you go through this game. It's like a game. This game of death, I guess, that's set up for you. And in order for you to progress, you end up doing a bunch of like escape rooms and puzzles and stuff like that. And then, yeah, and then there's like ally and betraying mechanics, and there's like scorecards. And in order for you to escape, you have to hit like a certain number. But if someone betrays you, you can lose points, and it's just, yeah, a lot of that going on. Still reacting to it is fun. Yeah, because it's like one of those instances where you've invested the time and it's kind of building up to something, and the whole time you're just kind of theorizing and speculating like what the hell could be going on. And then once things are kind of explained to you, it hits, because you have been investing, you've invested all that time into playing or trying to figure out what's going on. I actually like games like that. Or this. My first and only visual novel was Dream Daddy. I won't lie, I've been told to play that. Basically, you make decisions, there are changes to the timeline based on your decision. If you recognize someone in a certain timeline, maybe they told you something about them. I'm very into the genre, but this one is cool. A bunch of my favorite voice actors are in this series. Yeah, a couple of people have pointed it out to me. Maybe you go back and decide to be mean to them. Instead, you explore by yourself and find some treasure. You learn different things on each timeline. Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like intertwined. Please, Luna, tell me. So this is probably, right now, what you're seeing is completely backwards on how the game works. Because when you go through different stages of the game, you're told like you're fed little bits of information that is relevant to the story, but doesn't help you figure out the over ending arc, I guess you can say, like really putting everything together. But she's basically spilling most of the information now, so this is it's like a very enlightening moment. What is this project about? Who is the old woman? Who is Zero?
Sigma,
What's up?
would you hug me?
What? I think you're hugging me. Instead of answering, Luna wrapped her arms around me and buried her face in my chest. Don't hug her, she gon' stab you. She can't stab us. It's against her orders. My own arms hovered in the air, confused about where they should go. On the robot butt. I swallowed hard and tried to rein in my heartbeat, which had suddenly doubled. I was about to speak when I felt something warm on my chest. Was Luna crying?
This feels nice.
Huh. Well, the vice work.
Nice. Bookmark, thank you for the host. Don't hug her, she gon' stab you. Her voice shook as she spoke. I lowered one hand to her head and began to gently stroke her hair, her fake hair. Oh my god, it's falling out. Oh no! What the hell is going on?
I'm sorry. My ABT is usually held in place by muscle fiber. But after Clover gave me the tubocurarine...
Okay. I get it.
Does it scare you? This is what I really look like. I'm a golem. Just a machine. A jumble of metal and plastic that pretends to be real.
No. I wanted to get married and have kids. She's going bald. I'm crying because she's going bald. It's not that bad. seem to have come in a pivotal point. Yeah, she basically just kind of explained everything. She explained everything about what Dio did and how he did it. She also explained how certain people died in certain instances. And she told us about herself, like what her role was in the Nonary games, which was, I mean, at this point we know that she is a robot, but she was programmed to be in the Nonary games by the lady, the old woman, and Zero Senior, who we don't know exactly. We don't know who he is yet, but that's basically it. It's like it kind of helped connect the dots, but nothing like crazy eye opening. More of, oh, okay, yeah, we kind of suspected that, but this is how it happened exactly. I ran my arms around Luna and hugged her as tight as I could.
You believed in me this whole time.
Yeah. Oh, but at this point, Phi has left with Quark. And the Nonary game is technically over, but we ended up coming back to find Luna.
Even though I look like this?
What you mean? You think I'm shallow or something? You don't think I can love a robot? I trust you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I can close my eyes. That works.
I wish I could stay here forever. You feel so nice.
God, I'm so shallow.
But I think my time is up.
Wow. Wow, new queen, what's up? It's okay, you're going through a lot right now. I understand.
I've done things I really shouldn't
You haven't
have.
formed the emotional bonds with Luna. Luna has been great, and she broke our heart, man. Once I found out that I couldn't procreate with her, ruined me.
Do you remember what you asked me earlier? About if Zero Jr. had reactivated my body?
But it might be more because we've experienced so many different playthroughs with different people, and they change, that all the other people seem like super bitches. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's like scaled. What's it called? What do they call it? Like it's like a, you know, like a floating grade. It's kind of like a floating grade, but on people. It's like the grade just kept dropping and dropping and dropping for other people because we've been betrayed so many times in different playthroughs that like you kind of become immune and think everyone's like an asshole. But Luna has always been pretty consistent. But yeah, that's because she is not human.
Remember? The truth is, he didn't. I did. I went to the part of the core that controls Zero Jr., and I hacked it.
What?
Yes, that was the first thing. The second. Do you know what the second one was? If I had really wanted to, I could have saved Clover and Tenmyoji. Then Kei and Dio probably wouldn't have killed each other. That's not all. I could have stopped Alice from killing herself, and I could have even saved the old woman at the very beginning. In other words, I had the ability to disobey my orders.
But she didn't.
I didn't. That's the second thing. I broke the first law. I was scared. I was afraid to die. Obviously, hacking the core and taking control of Zero Jr.'s systems is very, very bad. Golems who don't follow orders can become dangerous, so we're terminated if we disobey. You lose access to your body, of course, but everything that's stored in the core, your memories, your consciousness, is deleted.
What? Wait, are you saying...
Yes. Very soon now, I'll be gone.
No!
Zero Jr. is probably recovering himself right now. once he's done, I doubt I'll be around much longer.
What? Why?
I watched 6 people die and did nothing. I deserve this.
No! No, you don't! Even if you had done something, you would have been killed anyway. You can't blame yourself. You did what you could. You're not wrong. This game is what's wrong. Forcing you to watch your friends die is what's wrong. Look at that. I deserve the Oscar.
Oh, Sigma. Thank you. I'm really glad I met you.
Luna! Luna! It's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna let them do this. You're gonna be fine, I promise. Just please don't.
I'm sorry. My time's up. At least I get to die in your arms.
God damn it, Luna!
Thank you, Sigma. And goodbye, Doctor.
Doctor? Doctor? Dr. Sigma? But she couldn't answer. I squeezed my eyes shut and held her, unable to bear the thought of letting any more of her slip away. We're robots. We gotta be like a robot too. With one last quiet chime, the music box wound down. I was left with nothing but silence and the cold pool of tears over my heart. Was Sigma a doctor? Apparently, we didn't know. So now we gotta figure out, okay, well, she called us doctor, so what does that mean? My theory is that, so there's a character named K. He's like in this robot suit and you don't know what he looks like. He's like stuck in the suit. But in one of the endings, you remove his helmet and he has the same face as you. So my theory based on that is that K, or the other Sigma, is the actual real Sigma, and then this version of Sigma, who we are, is like a programmed version of him with like certain memories built in. And then she called us doctor because we have the same face as the OG, the real Sigma, and then that Sigma is an actual doctor. But oh damn. Okay, so that was obviously Luna's ending. Tears in the rain. Yo, Fizzbon, thank you for the retweet. Alright, so let us save it. That was very long. Holy, that was like 2 hours and there's like, what, 2 question marks? God damn. Okay. So, who are we betraying here? We're gonna betray and then Luna's gonna murder us. We're gonna do that real quick. I'm so sorry.
Two minutes remain
Luna?
until
No.
polling
After what we
closes.
just saw, we're gonna betray her. You're gonna play some RE3 when it comes out? I mean, I want to play RE3. I'm at this point where I have yet to play 2 and I haven't played 7. And the reason I'm backed up on REs right now is because originally I wanted to play RE7 on VR, but the VR thing never panned out. I mean, remember initially came out on PS4 and there was licensing, right, for a year. And then so when the licensing was up, I was like, okay, I'm going to be patient. They're going to eventually port it to PC and then I'm going to play it on VR on PC because, you know, I need to expel my bowels or whatever, you know. But it never happened. It never came out. So now I'm like, all right. I was still holding on for hope, but I think I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what? It ain't happening. There's no way. It ain't gonna work. Yo, what up, Darktooth? So I will play it sooner than later, and then I will play the second game at a convenient time. And then, you know, it's good because at the point the prices have kind of dipped down pretty low. And then I don't know, whenever I'm done with those, then I'll play the third game. You really gonna betray right after watching that? We gotta for the game. This one needs to be Dying Light before he plays 3. 2 minutes remaining. Okay. Expelling bowels. I keep trying to play Dying Light and my partners keep dropping. Yeah, I've been on the need to finish Dying Light train for so long. Like, I got the game. Actually, okay, so when the game first came out, somebody in the community gifted it to me like the day of release, right? And back then I had a pretty janky computer, and then but I still tried to play it, and my computer was chugging when I was trying to play it back then. Ah, so scary. It was chugging back then. So then I was like, all right, I got to put it on the back burner until I get a better computer. Then I eventually got it. I eventually got a better computer, and then when the time was right, I started a new playthrough and I streamed it. And I got pretty far. And then at a certain point, I had to go on like one of my long hiatuses, aka take a break. And I think I had become so disjointed from the game for so long that I think I was like, I didn't stream for like a month or something, that I decided to just kind of play it on my own. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to stream it anymore. We're going to move on. But I didn't really have a chance to, but I had already played it some at that point, like off stream. So when I had time to stream again, I didn't want to play it again because I had already kind of played through it. I didn't stream it at all. So I started playing something else on stream, and then the game just kind of got put on the back burner. But I need to play it because I need to beat it because I love it. But that's where I'm at with Dying Light. Dying Light is a prequel, RE prequel, obviously. They delayed Cyberpunk. Yeah, I heard. I'm like excited, but not like, oh shit, I'm gonna pre-order it. Luna! Where's Luna? I looked out of the door and ran towards the AV room. I thought she'd entered, but she's gone. Where'd she go?
That's odd. We came out the moment the gates opened. There's no way she could have left already.
Then there it was. No, she didn't take it.
That doesn't make sense. Why would she show up just when we're about to vote? There was no reason for her to come here if she was just going to default.
I'm like that, but for Animal Crossing. I never. So for Animal Crossing, it's my time. It's a game that I would like to play. I never experienced Animal Crossing growing up because it was more of a DS. Well, it was a DS game, and I never really had a DS growing up. The only time that I had experienced Animal Crossing, or the first time I experienced it, was I played it on my phone pretty frequently. Basically, like, this might be TMI, but every time I like every morning when I was in the bathroom, like I would play it then. And then after a while I just stopped playing. But I want to play it, and I have a Switch now, so I know, I hope I can, but it's not gonna be those, oh, I'm gonna like buy it on release or pre-order type thing, because I have so many games on my backlog that it just makes more sense for me to be patient.
Results from round 3.
I played it for 2 years. One day we'll play for sure. I played a pretty good amount. The thing is, like, lately I'm never like really openly social on any kind of game. Like, I don't go and play with random people, but you know, it's Animal Crossing, so it doesn't really count. But in Animal Crossing, I was pretty like open and aggressive with befriending people in that, like going to other people's farms and watering their plants. And I forgot there was like benefits to friending everyone and stuff like that. So I had a bunch of friends. Like, I was completely, like, my friend list was full. But normally I'm not really like that anymore. I used to be.
Please direct.
Write the results.
Yeah, let's go have a look.
I'm a random now. One day we'll play for sure. No, I didn't mean you in general, but I meant just when I played back then, who I play with. But I know you're just messing. I don't know, and then just like after a while, it kind of became a chore. It became kind of grindy. I feel like there wasn't enough to do. Like, I did it for the sake of just doing the chore, like the daily.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your brain.
Damn, I feel so bad. I feel bad.
Since Luna didn't vote, she got set to ally automatically, and the other 6 got penalized.
Skip that part.
5 of them are dead already, and Quark's bracelet is off.
That means all those penalties are meaningless. Hold on, is this Phi's ending? Actually, this might be Phi's ending. Hold on, who? We have Phi and... well, it's everybody. Only Phi. So one of the endings is unknown. There's no reason to come here just to
I
abstain.
can only guess at her reasons, but I'm sure it was part of some plan.
I feel so bad. We're like, I bet we're gonna abandon her.
Who knows? So what do we do now?
I'm guessing this is the Phi ending. Like, we just leave.
Whatever Luna's scheming, we still managed to get 9 BP. Do you want to leave?
No, we can't. We still don't know if Quark is safe. No way I'm leaving before we find him.
I agree. I hoped you'd say that.
So are you... can I skip? No.
Of course.
It's like saying the same stuff.
Let's get moving.
We spun around and headed for the cyan door. I followed on our heels. Boom, boom, boom. Brum, brum, brum. Oh, you started doing Dying Light, follow up to 2018. You got... oh, I got sick. Yeah, that's when I got like crazy sick. Man, that whole time was a blur to me. Whoa. That sound is super sketch. Oh, nice. 69. Nice. shit. He's not here either.
This is the last room. Well, the last room we can get into.
And we haven't seen Luna either.
Yeah.
Where the hell did she go? We were standing there trying to decide what to do next when we heard a familiar voice echo through the facility. Oh no.
The number 9 door has been opened.
What?
It will remain open.
No, that's not possible.
What's not possible? But she only bit her lip and said nothing, then all too soon it was over.
The number this end. Thank you. As the game escape, please.
What just happened? Yeah, what the hell just happened? It's all over now, isn't it? We're stuck here forever.
We should go back to the Floor A warehouse. I need to know if the door actually opened or not.
With that, she was off. Yeah. With a sigh, I turned to follow. I need to get this command on my Nightbot. We can't just look at the door and tell... We can't just look at the door and tell if it was opened or not.
True, but the projection should tell us.
Yeah, that command was created when we were in our outbreak phase. What? Game finished. Result escape complete. Luna and Quark escaped?
So it would seem.
Why? How? Almost as if on cue, the screen flickered. And Zero Jr. appeared. Uh-oh.
Well, well, well! Long time no Zero! Remember your old pal Zero?
You!
I'm guessing somebody's hoping for an explanation about what the diddly-o just happened. Because we're such great friends, I decided to make an exception and descend from on high to give you the 411. Aren't you happy?
Yes, I am happy.
So what's this explanation you've got?
Well, let's start with little Quark. He was given an anesthetic that put him to sleep. While he was out, Luna carried him through to the other side of the number 9 door.
But how did she open the door?
With Quark's bracelet, you silly bunny.
You silly bunny.
It was still in the infirmary. Remember? Luna just hopped over there and picked it up.
So I was right. Quark had 9 BP when the second round ended.
Yup.
But didn't he get penalized after the third round?
Yes, he did. But a penalty can't take away your points. Just your life. The needles popped out and so on, but the points stayed the same.
Man, this bitch ass bunny.
So Luna took Quark to the door.
One second. And since her bracelet was already off, she wouldn't have suffered the penalty.
No, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Oh, right. She's a golem.
Alright, I think my tale is through.
Okay, well, I've got some questions for you, buddy.
Not you.
Well, good thing you guys don't have questions for me. That guy's a jerk.
This isn't the alphabet.
You must be feeling pretty good if you're able to joke around like that. I mean, 6 people just died here. It's not really a big deal. That's just how you humans are, after all. So, as long as you make it, nothing else matters. Am I right?
No, you're wrong.
Don't screw with us.
It's cool. It's cool. I know you gotta act tough. I mean, you chose betray. That means you don't trust Luna.
Hold on. Where's the number 0 bomb?
Figures. She's a golem. She might even be a murderer.
That's why you were planning to leave her here and bone out, wasn't it? You see, it's all about you.
Haven't you thought about how sad you made Luna?
What?
Well, looks like my time here's just about all used up.
Wait, I still have questions for.
No, I won't wait. I don't like waiting. I waited once, and some half-witted reptile got the better of me because of it. After that, I learned to make sure to value my time.
Tortoise and the hare.
Alrighty then. I'll see you when I see ya. Have a nice trader.
Game over? Nope. For a few long moments, Vi and I just stared at the spot on the wall where Zero had disappeared. Where had Quark been? Who had given him an anesthetic, and why? We had no idea who'd killed everyone, and Zero Senior's identity, as well as the purpose of the Nonary game, remained a mystery. As for our futures, what are we supposed to do now? I hadn't meant to say the words out loud, but there they were.
The tortoise won because he kept going even when it looked hopeless. I think we should do the same. We've got plenty of time after all. We'll give the dead the closest thing to a funeral we can manage. And when that's done, we'll start looking. Even if I never leave this place, I'll figure out why we were here. I swear it.
The music, though. I looked at the fire in her eyes and nodded. If nothing else, at least we had a purpose. Dude, that was such a like exciting ending, but game over is usually like hella depressing. All right. Here we go. The last ending. Can we do it? That wasn't so bad. That was it was like a game over. At least you were still alive. Well, most of the game overs were still alive. It's just like we're stuck forever. But it's usually more sorrowful. It's like kind of depressing. I actually don't even know where the Zero Bomb is. I don't remember. Yeah! Suck on that, Dio, you arrogant son of a bitch. Ah, that feels good. I haven't felt this satisfied in ages. It's like my whole brain is swimming in endorphin. Oh wait, I'm gonna hit skip because we've seen this. So we just disabled the bomb, and then we're like, where's the bomb Zero? We don't know. And then now we're remembering.
Sigma, wait! Where are you going?
But now we know. So we were stuck here last time because there was another bomb, apparently, and we didn't have enough time to find it. But in, I guess, the previous playthrough, we somehow know where it's at. Don't follow me. Go find the others.
Idiot! Do you really think I'd do that?
I can hear her following me, but there was no time to argue. Yo, the cool thing is that I think in this section, everyone's actually alive. Instead of focus on my goal, there was still time. I don't know. I don't know if we actually have time. What is it, 7:25? If we're lucky, I can stream until 8. If we're unlucky, maybe not. I don't know if that's enough time even. But we shall see.
Here?
Yeah. Should be between these AV rooms. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Good, I was right. Wait, what? How much time do we have left?
About a minute.
Shit!
Hurry!
I'm hurrying as fast as I can. I don't know the freaking code. The input device was plugged in. I was ready to go. Now I just had to enter the password. But what was the password? I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd already used up my third time charm. Still, I had to try. I shook my head and concentrated. I don't know, Jumpy Poo? Jumpy Poo? That's the only, like, actual word I can think of. Jumpy, Jumpy. Was it Jumpy Poo? No, I don't think it was Jumpy Poo. That sounds stupid. It was like Jumpy something. Does anyone remember? Does anyone remember? God damn it. Jumpy Pool. Jumpy Pool? Jumpy... I mean... What happens if I back out? It's not that. It's not the jumpy one? Oh no! Thank you, Max. Oh no! It's a different code? It's a different thing? Want to know where it is? Not maybe not yet. Let me think for a little bit. Let me think, but I appreciate you asking regardless. We gotta think. We must think. Think, McFly. Come on. All right, we have some files. Let's look at some files. No. Do Sigma's brain blast. Rhizome? Do Sigma's brain blast? Think, McFly. Exelivir? No. You found it like 25 hours ago? What? What up, Big Mars? 25 hours? That's like... I am. I'm very jumpy. We need to do this. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to try to figure this out. But hints are okay. 25 hours ago. I'm just making it up. Oh, debated. So, okay. So we were told the passcode at some point. Was it like an important... Was it at an important point? Or was it like completely random? It was at an important point. Luna and Kay told us about the computer passcodes. They were very specific about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very specific. 9. Come on, use the telekinesis. The day the man was abducted. Dude, look at this flashback. Dude, it's like the music from the first game. Is it Christmas? No. It's not a passcode. They were very specific about it. They were very specific. They were very specific. They were very specific. 9 letters. Chromatic. No, that's not even a... Okay, I have another question. Is it an actual word or is it like a just a jumbled bunch of like letters and numbers? it's an actual code. Okay. That it kinda helps. Well, what happens if I go back? Let's see what happens. I want to say it's that one paper with like a bunch of crap on it. That one that Dio used for the SOS. But maybe not. Like the other bomb passwords. Yeah, it's the code. There was one code where everyone's like, don't forget this. You will never see it again. Is it that one? That's the only other time I can remember that we were given an actual like jumbled thing of letters. It was like a paper with repeating letters on it. Okay, so it was that one? I mean, we know what that is, but... Wait, what is this? Why is it showing this? Oh, I never looked at these. Okay. I kind of just want to look it up because we already know. Well, I'm gonna look up what I know, which is that paper. What is the name of that paper? Actually, how do I go back? Do you even remember how you got the other bomb passwords? That I remember. The bomb passwords I remember. One of them was given, like two of them was given to us by Dio. One was in like the infirmary. One was when we were holding him down in like the warehouse. And then another passcode was it was at some point. Yep. Hold on. Let's see what happens if I back out. It was actually fairly anticlimactic. There wasn't time for anything. No time to say goodbye to fire. Try to shield her from blast for all the good it could have done. Oh, we died. Game over. Whoa. Alright, I need to go to the flow chart. Do I actually need to save it? Okay, so that paper was seen during when we were in the Zen garden, but I don't remember that. It was like on this side somewhere. I think it was here. No, we came back. We ended up coming back. What is the long string of numbers? Decode the code.
Yes. Well, there, I left a few of the We should go back. Which is?
And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon.
What do you propose we... Clues? Well, if I told you we need without that. A key is it allows you to sort of... Myrmidons usually use... What the? Where did... Wait, can you say that? That...
I don't care
that
about...
number you just told me.
Wait. It's like an actual bomb code, right? This is... Oh no.
Prime factor decomposition. Exactly, probably. Yes. I did do simple mental...
Alright, let's pretend us finding this code is a 4-minute timer. So if I don't know, if I can't find it in 4 minutes, just tell me where to find it.
I told you, I'm better at math than most people.
I'm extremely close.
Look
Okay.
at you. That seems pretty Where did you... Can't
Where's that
find. I'm pretty
stupid-ass
sure I know the
paper?
Myrmidons, and there aren't a... I think there's a... Well, 109...
Oops. You literally was just told how to find it.
You still don't get it? Try to remember the code we saw in the infirmary. What did it say on the... On the second row?
Is it... It's not puzzle related, right? I don't have to do a puzzle to find it. I'm just told the code. Like puzzle meaning it could be I gotta do math or some crap like that. Maybe going back to like Dio's ending? Oh shit! Bomb number 0 deactivation code. What?
Oh, Holy Father, Holy Brother.
Oh my god, man! We had 2 minutes to spare!
My sacred mission is at last. With these two, I am in your name.
Shut up!
I don't care about your goddamn mission. You did this. Now we're going.
Damn, dude. It was instinct. Oh, it was all instinct there.
Shut up!
You guys helped though, so thank you. Thank you for the hints.
You still haven't going to ask. What is the... God damn it! Didn't I tell you to Now, what's...
She swung the rock down towards Dio's head.
Okay, fine. It's not gonna do you any good. I completed my... What are you gonna do with a
Not your problem, otherwise.
Wait, why is she asking for the passcode here?
Fine. No skin off my back. The password for the 0 bomb is... LXAQNSGDQ.
Okay. I need you guys to refresh my memory. Why is she asking for the passcode to the 0 bomb? Unless she's doing what we're doing, like she came back to this point at the same time. And like Dio's ending changed. Dude, that would actually be a crazy plot twist. That would be very immersive in the grand scheme of the actual story. Because I feel like this didn't happen. Like it changed. Before that, she talks about jumps in this timeline. You have no idea what the jumps are yet. Oh, that's why I don't remember, because it didn't make sense. Okay, I got you. Thank you for clearing that up. So I was processing this. No, we were watching this like 3 weeks ago. And she was saying all this gibberish. And it was just like, it was going into one ear and going out the other because we didn't know how to process it. That's kind of crazy. That's crazy.
You heard that, right, Sigma?
She knows the damn code. Why doesn't she punch it in? She doesn't remember it. She doesn't know in that timeline. She started to remember things in this ending. Yeah, so she knows about the bomb in this ending in our timeline that we were just in with the bomb. But we don't know. We don't know. We don't recall. Like we as in us, like, you know, like me and you guys, we know. But Sigma, once he jumps, his character or his persona in this playthrough doesn't know about the bombs, but Fi, she knows about the bombs here. Like she knows about the other timeline where we're trying to deactivate the bombs right now in Dio's playthrough. But when we go back to that other timeline where we're trying to deactivate the bomb, she doesn't remember this instance is my assumption. Whew. Also, I heard your question about Alice earlier. You found her in 3 different ways, with the scalpel on her chest and with the knife and a weaponless wound. Yeah, I didn't think anything of that initially either, like back when we found her, because all of that whole stabbing, all the like stabbing situations with her were all kind of like way back when we initially started. It's weird. It just means that you got to pay attention to the cues and hopefully you remember things. But there's so much information to process throughout the game, is that even though it might not seem that important, it could be something important down the road. Because you're the protagonist. Duh. I mean,
Password.
I'm not the protagonist. I don't even know who we are, man. Our name is Sigma, but who the hell are we, man? It's like we're Jax. We're Jax from Mortal Kombat. We're going to go on the timeline where we go into a Mortal Kombat game and we got like metal arms. Should we watch the ending? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. They actually placed it in a good spot. Like, you wouldn't really think that you'd have to go to somebody's ending in order to like pull information from somewhere. Watch, it doesn't work. Yeah, and by the way, it was like 25. Actually, it was more than 25 hours. It's probably more along the lines of 30 hours ago. First try. What you acting all surprised? You the one that got him to reveal the password. You heard it too. It is stopped. It stopped.
Yeah.
Fi and I crumpled to the ground. The adrenaline that had sustained us suddenly gone.
How did you know it was here?
Yeah, this is kind of... I mean, I guess this was more of an assumption.
Did you see it in another history?
I mean, we didn't. It's hard to explain. The short version is that Dio hit something here in another timeline. I guess maybe he put the bomb here too.
Pretty good guess.
Yeah.
Well, you did it. So, thanks.
You're welcome. Well, I don't need any thanks. Just
Just what?
about that swimsuit you promised. Yo, man. Now is not the time. I bet you these are like an hour long each, and I'm not going to be able to beat it today.
What? What on earth are you talking about?
She said that she doesn't jump around in the same order you do. Yeah, I remember her saying that. I guess, but she knew about the whole timeline jumping thing, so when she said like Oh, Sigma, there you go. That's the password. And she's basically saying to us like, hey, you better remember this. Because I won't be able to utilize it.
Chromatic doors have opened.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
5 minutes remain until chromatic doors.
Alright guys, we definitely gotta beat it today, so I'm gonna just skip all the text and not pay attention. We're just gonna beat the game. And then we're never playing again.
The white doors have opened. We need to hurry. Everyone else is waiting for us in the Floor B warehouse.
What about the swimsuit? Oh, he's like, I don't know what's up. Like over time, I feel as if he's kind of changing.
What the hell are you going on about? Just go!
Speedrun strats. Before I could protest, she turned and ran toward the magenta door. I sighed and headed off after her. I sighed. That was not the time. I ran into the warehouse to find everyone else already there. They'd done as Fi asked and brought the 3 unconscious members of our party back to the doors. Fi and I shared a quick glance and headed over toward them.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad you're safe.
So, did you disable the bombs?
Yeah, I could have done it in my sleep. What? In my sheep?
Don't you mean in your sleep? Oh my. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Luna! I know what you did. I know you.
Yeah. Good job, you guys.
No need to thank me. Although, I mean, if you insist, I wouldn't mind a little swimsuit time. The hell?
What? Huh? You're disgusting.
1 minute remains until chromatic doors close.
We need to hurry.
Everybody know who's in their group?
Yeah, I'm set.
Alright, then let's move.
At Temioji's command, we broke off into our teams. Kay carried Quark on his back and dragged Dio along the floor and through the white door on the left. Clover and Luna carried Alice through the door on the right. And Temioji, Fi, and myself ran through the center door.
10 seconds remain until 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Man, don't tell me this is another puzzle
1,
room.
0. Chromatic.
Although the white doors have, I think they've all been the director's room. Q? Yeah, this is new. What in the... What the hell? There's nothing here.
Well, there are doors. The one we came in.
Uh-oh. One sec, guys. Alright, dudes, it doesn't look like I'm beating it today. I mean, we kind of already knew that, but we're definitely not beating it today. I can confirm that at this point. We have a couple minutes, so I'm gonna just go through whatever I can, and then we'll call it, and I guess we'll do this on Monday. Actually, I think Monday is a holiday, so I don't know if... I don't know. Let me just play for now. The one we came in...
And that one, which I'm assuming is the exit.
I mean, swimsuit request is a bit more tame than the lever request. Oh, yeah. That was interesting. Yup, figures. Won't budge.
The plaque on the door just said Q.
Q. Q? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Q for Quark.
Really? Now someone's just being a smartass.
Huh?
Nothing. Maybe the Q is for question.
It seems like he knows. Yo, apparently he knows who Zero is. He just never told us. Well, I guess it is a very questionable room.
If there was a deck of cards here, maybe the Q would be for Queen.
This is Junpei. And Zero is the brother of Clover. That is my guess. If there's a deck of cards here, maybe the Q would be for Queen. That's a quality guess right there.
Right. Well, we need to get out of here. Let's find a way to get the door open.
Yes, there you go,
We also
Snake.
need to find the star keys.
My assumption is that Snake is Zero. Or let's just say Snake is the dude in the hologram in the director's office who we saw. That is my guess based on very little.
I've got enough BP to open the door, but you guys need to play the AB game some more.
Yeah.
We still need a few more points.
If we can get those star keys, we should be able to play the AB game as many times as we need to. So...
It's just a matter of time until we get the points we need.
Right.
Hold on. We're about to end it anyways, but I am curious. Junpei 999. All right, dudes. I mean, they got the same color eyes. Same color eyes, wearing a similar colored shirt. I don't know about pants. Hair, yeah, I mean, like, if he slicks his hair back and it turns gray, sure. No, just looking up his picture. Just, I didn't look at the actual wiki page. Let's get started then. Good.
Okay.
Yo, but for reals, I mean, I really, like, I thought even if it was unintentional, it was possible that things, you know, some things would be told to me before I found out. But, I mean, there's still a chance it could happen. And, you know, it's not a big deal. But it's crazy how you guys have been able to, like, literally hide every single detail from me. It's like even when I make all of, because I've been making all these, like, theories and guesses and all that, but no one ever says anything. I never get any feedback on my theories. What are we supposed to do here? The room's empty. I mean, no one's even giving me, like, even an ounce of feedback on any type of guess or suggestion of what I think or who I think is what or what I think is happening. It's pretty crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure the second that I play like GTA, because I haven't played like GTA 5, I'm pretty sure the second I start a blind playthrough of GTA 5, I'm gonna be like spoon-fed like all the spoilers and endings like immediately, which is, I mean, it doesn't bother me that much, because for me, I think the most enjoyable part is the experience. So even if I know something, it's more like, oh cool, like I know that, so I wonder how that actually plays out. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, how can you like actually like spoilers if you don't know about something and you want to figure things out on your own? Yeah, chats definitely care. I've seen that happen where someone says something and it's like, Like, I probably wouldn't say, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Like, I don't even know. It could be bullshit because, I mean, I literally don't know, right? But then everyone can be like, shut the hell up. Wait, do you hear something? Oh, we in Portal now. Okay. I am actually going to go ahead and end it here. Well, how much do you want to bet? Has something to do with that? Guess we should go and have a look. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and save it and end it here because I have no time. But, yep, the letter Q. Q for Quark. I don't know, it's the first thing that came to mind. But we shall... I'm assuming we're going to finish the game off on Monday. But I think Monday is actually a holiday, so I don't know what Monday's schedule is going to look like. But I do really got to get going, and it is Friday, and I don't have a schedule on the weekend. So, I mean, if I do end up streaming anything on the weekend, it'll be an impromptu stream, and it most likely won't be this because I don't want the ending to be played like randomly. I'd rather do it during the schedule. But yeah, but other than that, 7:57 p.m., 2 hours 49 minutes, very progressive. Not progress, not the right word. Pretty good progress. I was hoping we'd end it today, but once I saw the length of time that Luna's ending was taking, I kind of stopped thinking that we were gonna actually beat it, because if her ending took that long and this last portion is the actual finale, I just kind of put two and two together and figured there's no way we'd be able to finish this today, and kind of figured, yeah, we'll end up doing this on like Monday or next week. So yeah, we shall finish this off next week. But yeah, pretty solid stream today. Thank you guys very much for watching, lurking, and listening today. Thank you everybody that stopped by and everyone that stuck around to the end. As usual, I will let you guys know via Twitter and Discord when we go live. I think Monday is a holiday, so if it is a holiday, I think it's MLK next week. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So if it is, there is a chance I won't be able to stream on Monday. But like I said, I will tweet out if we do end up going live as usual. And if I know ahead of time, I'll let you guys know on Discord too. But other than that, thank you everyone. Thanks for hanging out and chilling and kicking it. Thank you everyone that retweeted the stream. Let me check real quick. Thank you for the retweets. Fizz, Symbiotic, and Janzer. Thanks for hanging out today. Everyone, I already said that. But other than that, I was spoiled on most Danganronpa outcomes and still enjoy the hell out of it then. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't let something like that ruin the experience for you. So I'm glad. I would have that same mindset too. But yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for all the help. And I keep saying this, but I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, thank you for the resub, Deathquan. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your evening. If I do not see you guys over the weekend, enjoy your weekend. I will let you guys know on Monday what's going on. But if I do not see you on Monday, and if you celebrate the holiday, enjoy your Monday. If you don't, I will I guess I would see you guys on Tuesday. But anyways, I'm just dragging this on and I really gotta go. So thanks again. Take care. Have a good one. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.